Warning, the player selections you're about to see may flop miserably. FPL TV cannot be held responsible for any of your own transfer shockers. Please, FPL responsibly.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Point Predictor, the series where I choose 5 players that I think will avoid blanks in the upcoming FPL Gameweek. Within these predictions, I can only choose one player per club, and I must follow the categories shown on screen. Unfortunately, there was no Point Predictor for Game Week 3, but let's quickly look all the way back to Game Week 2 and see how my choices back then performed. It was 3 out of 5 correct picks in Game Week 2, with Pukki notably scoring that hat-trick against Newcastle. So let's move on now to Game Week 4's predictions, and if you enjoyed the Point Predictor series, be sure to leave a like on the video and get subscribed to FPL TV. You can also hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. With just 2 teams keeping clean sheets in Game Week 2 and only 3 in Game Week 3, watertight defences do seem hard to come by in the opening weeks of the season. For that reason, my defensive choice this week goes to Trent Alexander-Arnold, a player that we can so often rely on for attacking returns. This was a very tight call this game week between him and Chelsea's Emerson, with both showing excellent attacking stats in the opening 3 games. The difference between the two, though, is that whilst Emerson is showing great underlying potential, he's yet to actually return any points, whilst the reliable Alexander-Arnold has already registered 2 assists. In only 3 games, the defender has already made 40 passes into the opponent's penalty area, more than any other player in the league. During that time, he's also created 11 chances for his teammates, which currently ranks him as the second most creative player so far, behind only the very impressive Kevin De Bruyne. With Burnley and Ashley Barnes in particular impressing, a clean sheet may not be on the cards for the Reds this week. But at this point in time, I'm not sure what team to turn to keep those shutouts, so Trent seems like the trustworthy option to bag an assist. My midfield choice below the price of 8 million this week goes to Leicester's James Maddison. Once again, this was a tight 50-50 call, with Chelsea's Mason Mount another strong option for this week. But with Mason Mount being listed as a slight injury concern, I've played it safe and opted for Maddison. His opponents, Bournemouth, are not known for their strong defensive abilities, and in the opening 3 games, they've already conceded the second most big chances of any team. To be fair to Bournemouth, this stat is a bit harsh because they have just faced Manchester City, but let's not forget they did concede 70 goals in the league last season, the 3rd highest amount. And for this reason, you always feel fairly hopeful when owning attacking players that are facing them. Maddison has arguably been Leicester's best player to start this season and has already returned 2 assists. He's also taken the most free kicks and corners of any player in the league so far, which means he's getting plenty of ways to score points. My any-priced midfield choice this week goes to the in-form Raheem Sterling. Selecting Sterling here almost feels so obvious it'll probably end in tatters, but he's a player very hard to ignore this week given his fixture and current run of form. Not much needs to be said about Sterling. He currently sits as the 2nd highest point scoring FPL player, having netted in every game so far. He also boasts excellent underlying stats, having had the 2nd most goal attempts so far, as well as being top for big chances. With a nice looking fixture at home to Brighton next, he should be set to continue this fine run of form, especially with the creative De Bruyne also playing out of his skin. For the budget striker, below 8 million, I've selected West Ham's Sebastian Haller. The French striker announced himself into the Premier League with 2 very well taken goals against Watford last time out, and it was a performance that saw him produce the 2nd highest XG of the game week, behind only Mohamed Salah. Due to a minor injury in Game Week 2, Haller has only played 2 of the opening 3 games so far, one of which was a very difficult home debut against Man City. So it's no wonder that his stats over the opening 3 weeks haven't quite stood out yet. But with a home fixture against Norwich next, it seems like a good chance to build on his impressive performance in Game Week 3. His opponents have conceded 8 goals in the opening 3 games, the most of any team, as well as conceding the most shots on target. For the forward of any price, this usually gives me the option to select a premium striker, but with Norwich's Timo Pukki in such amazing form, it's 2 budget forwards that make it into this week's Point Predictor. With Norwich facing West Ham in Game Week 4, this means I'm backing 2 forwards who are facing each other this week, so clearly I'm putting lots of faith in this fixture. Fingers crossed for no drab 0-0 draw then. As we've already seen from Norwich this season, their style is very much to attack first, meaning they're not shy to concede goals. This makes owning their attacking players a dream for us FPL managers, because it leaves them needing to score at least 2 or 3 goals to win games. The stat that I've been most impressed with for Pukki this season is that he currently boasts a 100% goal involvement for his side so far. Norwich have scored 6 goals in the opening 3 games, and Pukki has been involved in all of them, with 5 goals and 1 assist. This means if they are to get a few goals against West Ham, then the Finn has a very high chance of being involved again, and that for me is what makes him such an appealing option at the moment. And that wraps up Game Week 4's Point Predictor. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode, and if so, please drop a like and get subscribed to FPL TV. Good luck to all of you watching for Game Week 4, FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all in the next one.